good, y'all? How y'all doing tonight? Right. Y'all good? I don't know if y'all asleep or something like that. I ain't hear no roll call. Well, hello. I'm about as nervous as y'all is. No, I'm just playing. But welcome to night school, or RGB school is what we're gonna call it tonight. We're gonna talk about a good number of topics, and also I want to know who these people are who I'm talking to right now. You know, all of y'all. I love the colors. Like y'all got like this Roy G. Biv colorway going on right now. I don't know if y'all sent an email out or something like that before y'all got here, but you know, at the same time, I want to tell a little bit about myself, find out who y'all are, and also hopefully, you know, we learn something at the end of the day about each other. All right? Okay. Slide one. Perfect. Okay, so Roy G. Biv, RGB, what you all know it from as well. This is actually my second brand. My first brand was called Antique Society. I'm born and raised from Atlanta, Georgia, and that was like, Antique Society was like, it was almost like a hidden club of like fresh individuals that like just think different, that like move different, and you know that was the whole thesis of that brand. But I also did like more avant-garde pieces, and avant-garde is a word where it's usually based off of a theme that's a little bit more dramatic than just a t-shirt or a hoodie or something like that. And so, you know, with avant-gardeness, you know, a lot of people kind of discredit Atlanta fashion because, you know, like I said, I'm born and raised from here, but it's like I come from the outcast era where it's like being crazy and being different and being you that's what Atlanta is. I feel like that's the sauce that we sell all around the world, and they put it in the music, and it's like, oh, okay, you can be yourself. All right, cool. You just got to come to Atlanta for a month, and you lit. You know what I'm saying? It's like that was a little bit more avant-garde. Now, fast forward to what we're talking to right now, RGB. RGB was is my Apple, my Gap, my Ralph Lauren, that everyday piece that anyone could wear, from an infant to an elderly person. Creating these hats that, you know, is such a popularity and that you kind of see a lot. This was this is my fashion business card. So I'm gonna start with the first kind of like jewel just to drop on you. It's like when starting a brand, your number one product that you could always start with would be an accessory. And when I say accessory, it could be from a hat, a bracelet, a necklace, you know, a bag, anything that doesn't necessarily come in a size. Because when you have to deal with sizes, now we're talking about, oh, did I get enough smalls? Did I buy enough larges? It's like when starting your brand off, you want to make money, but you also want to save a little money as well too, so you can work on other ideas. It's like, you know, what's the saying? You don't want to put too many eggs in a basket, right? So it's like you want to start with that one product, and from there, kind of like grow your brand at that point. Speaking of brand, I want to kind of start like I guess we could say the first chapter of what we're going to be talking about tonight. And the word is branding. Now, branding is something I take very serious. And the reason why I say that is, you know, your brand is not only a company, but it's who you are. You know, me as a person, any and everything I do and touch, I want to come at it a certain elevated style. I didn't have to put a suit on tonight. I actually really don't wear suits. In a perfect world, I would love to wear a suit every day. It's just I'm just like an on-the-go person, so it's not the most comfortable. But, you know, I wanted to start tonight off with respect. You know, I don't know any of y'all, but at the end of the day, I respect all of y'all. So, you know, just like a job interview, you want to kind of come dressed apart, and it's like my brand is making sure that that first impression that you see of me is to the highest level that you always want to create some type of memory with anybody that you meet. You know what I'm saying? Like you always want to be like, you know what? Dang, that class I did with Twon, man, he kind of taught me that, you know, maybe let me not be late. Let me go ahead and just put, you know what I'm saying? Like just everything has to always be elevated, and especially when it comes with us. And when I say us, I just say us as black people, you know. I Something I always strive to do, especially with us, you know, we're in Black History Month right now, you know, I want to make sure that, you know, any label or any box they ever want to put us in or, you know, try to, you know, say what we can't do is like, now we breaking down all those doors. And, you know, that comes with my brand. RGB, we've done a lot of collaborations and a lot of things that not a lot of brands get to do, and it's really because I'm pushing the envelope on making sure that, you know, no, when you see RGB, you're gonna be like, oh man, they did the impossible. It's like, you know, for instance, right here, this last rack right here, this is a collection I did with Betty Boop. If you guys aren't familiar with Betty Boop was actually kind of based off of a African American woman, but from so many different shades and characters, you know, it's kind of become of like a pale skin or whatnot. And so they approached me just because they seen how I did color, but at the same time, you know, anything I put my name on, it's gotta be monumental. It's gotta be a meaning. It's gotta be, and it's like, you know, I grew up with 4 aunties, like 4 strong black women, and it's like, and they're all different shades of black as well too. So it's like, as you can see the different colors of Betty right there, it's like the whole program is called Betty of the People, and it's like I actually shot it in this actual studio as well too. And you know, this is my give back to not only just women of color throughout the whole universe, but just the strong women I seen growing up as well too. And it's like, this is my give back of understanding that, you know, not only do I appreciate y'all, but you know, we need to give more light to it. It's like a lot of people don't understand, like, you know, a black woman came up with the equation to go to the moon. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta put some respect on your name. And it's like, I did that collection just not only because of that, but you know, it just something that kind of brought to me. And it's like, but back on branding, right? Once again, that's a brand, Betty Boop, a super major brand that, you know, clearly they saw something in me that, okay, you know what, maybe he's the one who can do this or whatnot. So it's like, that's why I took that particular one. But it's like, even to the next point of branding is like how you carry yourself on social media. Like that plays like one of the huge factors, not only for me, especially when it comes to like anybody who's asking me, they're like, oh, I want to work for you, or I want to model for you. It's like, you know, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look at your Instagram. I'm going to see if you're in your stories doing something that you shouldn't supposed to do, or if you just have like just unnecessary stuff. Is like, how are you making your online presence something to where someone's like, you know what, I want to spend money with this person, or I want to hang with this person. You know, that's something I always try to do, not only with the brand, but just me as a brand in general. I'm a super introvert. I'm not the biggest, like, you know, out and everywhere, but when it has to come dealing with business and the brand, of course, you know, I have to get out that shell and I have to be this person that y'all talking to right now or whatnot. And so branding is something that, you know, if anything that y'all don't take away is the minute y'all leave out this door, think about your brand as a person. Because even the brand as a person, the brand as a company, they go so hand in hand. You can have a great company, but you as a person are a terrible person. Like they just don't go hand in hand. Something's gonna end up crashing or whatnot. You know, the truth will always come out or whatnot, right? So branding is the first takeaway that I really want to kind of like start off with, just making sure that we, you know, like I said, I came here with wanting to give y'all the utmost respect, just coming in with a suit, but at the same time, you know, I want us to learn something as well. The next slide, which being tactful, right? Great piggyback to go with the branding, right? So when I say being tactful, right? You know, your follow-up game is something that a lot of people don't do, especially when it comes to like your dreams or something you want. You know, when you do a job interview or whatnot, you know, you done your interview, how many people send like maybe like 2 days after send a follow-up email saying, hey, you know, I want to thank y'all for, checking me out and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, just one. So, okay, 3, okay, 4. Okay. So that's something that I want to strive everyone in this room to always do, whether it's a job, working with people, just anything, just that follow-up has to be so to the point where you're not bothering somebody, but you want to necessarily just make sure that the person that you're trying to work with, that you stay on their mind. I'm going to give you, for instance, part of my career as far as just being an entrepreneur, I got to this point so I used to work, I worked several retail jobs. I worked at Cole Haan, The Gap, David Yurman. And I feel like God kind of gave me a certain schooling of like, I've seen everything from footwear to clothing to luxury. And, I got all those jobs just from making sure that my follow-up game was right. But even from then, taking those roles to being an entrepreneur, when I decided to leave David Yurman, I decided to pursue my dreams of not only just, kind of making it in the fashion world, but also just in the world in general. I did a lot of creative direction for like a couple of music artists. And this is just a story I want to just tell you just because it goes with being tactful. But so are anybody familiar with Saha the Prince? Right. So that's like my big brother, but like my homie, like forever, my like my road dog, right? And he was one of the people when I had Antique Society, kind of like he wore that first brand as well too, and he was kind of the first people that really told me, Antoine, you're stronger than a 9-to-5. You're stronger than working somebody else's dream. I think it's time for you to like go do your own thing, right? And with that being said, I told you I quit my job and I packed up all my stuff and I moved from Atlanta to LA. I know you're like, you did what? In a Dodge Challenger at that too, by myself, right? It was kind of like a calling that God told me. It was like, you know what? Yeah, forget that job. Let's go ahead and let's get this dream started, right? Moved to LA, right? Sahai, once again, partner of mine, he was like, man, if you need a place to crash, blah, blah, blah. Because at the end of the day, I've always told somebody, anybody who wants to get in fashion, if you're not ready to, figure out where you laying your head at, or figure out, okay, do we want to go make our lunch, or we want to go get some food, right? Just thinking about like the budget of fashion cost. Like it costs a lot of money. If you only knew how much I spent to get to this point to see y'all would be like, ooh, yeah, I don't know. But at the same time, this is my dream. Talking to y'all is my dream. I honestly feel like God put me on this earth to not only just be a vessel of, inspiration, but also just a vessel of just determination as well too. Like, fashion is something I've given my all to, and I will continue doing that. And, hopefully I inspire someone at the same room that we're in right now. But back to being tactful, right? Excuse me. Sorry, I'm about to go over everywhere because I'm just a little excited that I can feel, I'm a super empath and I can feel y'all energy. So I want to make sure I give y'all like the best of the best, right? So moving to LA, from that point, that's when I started, I would say pretty much I was a shadow to Kanye West. And with being around him, you could likely be around a whole lot of other people. So it's like the Cuddies, having a brain fart. Just anybody in music that you can think of that might be in the studio or something like that. I was that fly on the wall in the room, like literally like soaking up game. And once again, that came from just being tactful. And when I say being tactful, that was making sure my partner was straight. Saha does a lot of writing for Ye, and a lot of people, they can say like, oh man, I don't want to be no yes man, but you never know what, not necessarily being a yes man, but just being hey bro, you straight man? You know what I'm saying? Like making sure your partner's straight, especially if he giving you an opportunity to like be in certain rooms and be in certain doors. Is like, that's how you build relationship. That's how you make sure that your face card is so good in every room that you can go to, where it's like, to this day, it's certain, A-list people that I could run into right now. And it's like, I didn't necessarily ask for a picture. That's another thing too. I don't ask for pictures when I kind of like meet people, because at the end of the day, I know God made me just like that person as well too. So it's like, won't you take my picture? And it's like, not to be arrogant like that, but it's more so just, I want to make sure that we know that I'm talking to you at the same level, so you talk to me at the same level. Because at the end of the day, blood is the same color last time I checked, right? Don't nobody got special blood, right? Oh, okay, cool, right? So it's like being that person where it's like you're not asking for a picture, but you just want to like not be in the way, but be in the way in a sense. Is like, that's what I feel like being tactful is. It's like the certain people that you've seen in this brand, and that came from, once again, building those relationships of being tactful, making sure I check in. Hey, what's up? Hey man, should I just drop this? Hey man, what you think about this? Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like just checking in. Like people, our generation kind of feels like checking in is like, I don't know. It's like, it's weird, but if you, once again, if this is your dream, you got to do whatever you want to get this going, right? So it's like, taking away with being tactful, your follow-up game got to be like crazy, and just you just got to be on point. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, being on point is also knowing who your customer is. If you know your customer like nothing but orange, you need to be making nothing but orange. Don't be trying to make purple and yellow because oh yeah, it looked good today. I don't care. That's not what they come here for. They come, just like my brand. It's like, I always tell people like, that Betty Boop, I did a lot of black, which I hate doing black clothing. I know I'm wearing black right now, but black doesn't always get the message across the way color can. And I created this brand because of that. It's like when you go to a Home Depot and it's like you see the color wall. Have you ever seen that run out? No, right? So it's like, we're a brand that never runs out of color palettes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's nothing that we can't do. There's no color that can't go together, that we can't make you believe that, you know what? This does go together. I don't know how they did it, but this somehow goes together. And it's like, that even comes just from, me personally, as my outfits is like, of course, another part of being tactful. And when I say like being in these rooms and being with these people, I do understand that, okay, I can dress a little bit or whatnot. And that's something I've always used as, I like to call it the peacock therapy, or theory, excuse me. And it's like basically knowing how to be flashy, but not loud, if that makes any sense at all. And it's like knowing that you can show your colors, but it's like, it ain't hot pink. You know what I'm saying? It's like the perfect color palette, and colors have just always just something that I've been good at playing with. But when I put it with my fits, and it's like my shoes, and it's like, I also come from the era of like, waking up Saturday morning, getting them different color J's, where it's like, oh, we finna get the Jordan tee to go with this, and then we finna put the Jabos on with the different color strap. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the world I come from with me and my partners, like growing up, where it's like, it wasn't until I like got the job at the Gap and I realized, I think fashion is what I wanted. Like, to be honest with y'all, my side hobby, I like to cook. I like food just like anybody else does, right? Just because it's another form of art. Like, you know, when people like, when you go to certain restaurants and like how they plate stuff, that's how I put outfits together technically, like when I'm in the kitchen. And so, yes, tactful, because I'll end up talking to y'all about tactful all day. We go to the next one. Research now. Research, this is one of my favorite topics that a lot of people, especially our generation, don't do a lot of. And when I say research, I mean like finding, when you're creating your brand, finding a lane that nobody is in, finding a market that no one is in is going to be your best bet when building your brand. 2 years ago, nobody, I repeat, nobody was making a trucker hat, nothing. If anybody can prove me wrong, besides, you know, and when I say 2 years ago, I mean like it wasn't a popular thing as it is now. You know, of course we had back in the day your Von Dutch and your Ed Hardy, but guess what though? That's where research come in. With fashion, one thing I learned in school, everything recirculates about 10 to 20 years. So when you think about Ed Hardy, Von Dutch, that was about almost 10, 20 years almost, right? That's because I did that research on, oh, okay, this finna come back. You know what I'm saying? This finna come back. Let me, you know, it's almost like, you know, what's that, a weather almanac, where it's like you can kind of predict what the future's gonna, what the weather's gonna be in the future. One thing I learned in school, history of costume was one of my favorite classes, because if you just look, if you research, if you go in history and just look at what people were wearing, what was popular, you can 9 times out of 10 predict what's about to happen next in fashion. It's a little weird now because we have social media and no one doesn't really have a mind anymore. We're kind of like in a world of clones a little bit, like it's like the attack of the clones a little bit, because it's like everyone's wearing like the Dior mannequin and it's like, why? You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to do that, right? But that research is what's going to like, it's going to give you everything, right? So back to research, that my first brand I told you about, Antique Society, right? I came out with these T-shirts, but I called them tunics, right? If you know what a tunic is, that's the first T-shirt in Egypt. In ancient Egypt, that's what they wore around. It's called a tunic, right? And the shirt had certain like designs like ankhs and stars and like certain moons like that. And it was a certain symbolism, and you know, I like to call it like a almost like a sacred geometry, almost like what the tattoo on my head or whatnot, of codes of, you know, not only just positive energy, but just good energy on whoever wears this, whoever is around. And, you know, once again, that's just doing research on, you know, I was that kid growing up that I took apart all my toys because I wanted to see how did they put this together. So it's like anytime there's something that like super, like just like really gives me that feeling, I'm gonna figure out like what is this about, and it's like hieroglyphs and ancient like Egyptian artwork or something I'm super inspired by. And so with that first brand, I did that research of, once again, a tunic. I realized, oh, okay, it's a lot of like graphic T-shirts right now. Cool, ain't nobody did this like this where it's like a little bit longer and it's almost like a costume. Cool, we're gonna do a tunic. That was like that first taste of, oh, okay, I know how to make a product. Boom. Fast forward, no, there was a lot, but fast forward back to, like I said, that trucker hat, just doing my research, and you know, I have to put so COVID, you know, it's not, that's why I'm kind of like stuttering right now. It's not the best subject to talk about or bring up, but when I tell you I truly took advantage of just that time of sitting in the house and researching, you know, understanding that Ralph Lauren didn't start with a polo. He started with selling ties out of the back of his car. You know what I'm saying? Like understanding that, you know, Tupac, like a lot of the Carl Kanai stuff that he did, you know, he actually told Carl Canal, you like, man, you know, we black, we brothers, man. I don't want to charge you for wearing none of this. Just send me stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like understanding those values and in pretty much kind of, you know, just understanding like, you know, you got to really research who's your favorite brand? Like what are the brands that you like? And from that point, let that be your fashion mentor. One of my favorite brands is Maison Margiela. I have a epiphany and a strong daydream that I'm going to be the creative director for them for in year 2025. I don't know, it's a dream that I keep happening, but that was the one brand that when I was in school, I did my exit kind of like review on or whatnot, where we literally had to go to like a whole bunch of Goodwills around the city and grab pieces and figure out how to make them into modern day time. And if you look at some of like Margiela pieces, it's a lot of like cut and paste and put together and, oh, let's mix this fabric with this and do this with this. And it's like, it's almost like the same design language. And I kind of do the same thing just with my brand. Of course, like this hoodie right here, like, you know, the colors are somewhat nostalgic to make you think of, oh, okay, DHL finna send me something. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of stuff I do is like, I try to bring a certain nostalgicness to it to where it's like, you know, one thing I learned of working in luxury, like just selling jewelry, because, you know, just selling jewelry, you know, 9 times out of 10, nobody's just coming in spending money. So you got to make your customer feel not only wanted, you got to want them to feel appreciated, but you also got to make them feel like, man, this just made me feel like, you know, this just made me feel like $1 million, right? 9 times out of 10, whenever somebody's buying anything of a high price point, it's either they're celebrating something or they just, you know, it makes them feel good, or, you know, they kind of just got a check and they like, man, you know, I'm finna splurge real quick. So it's like, you always want to just, even like with the hats, like when I drop the colors are coming from something that's gonna make you like, you know, I might do like a black and white hat and call it like the zebra cake. Cause it's like, I want you to think about like, man, growing up, you might go to the little corner store real quick, grab your little, what's the little hug juices and a zebra cake real quick. Cause it's like, I want you to go back. I want you to time travel to a great thought, a great memory, a great feeling, to where when I put this hat on, or if I put this hoodie on, it just make me feel a certain type of way, and it can kind of take my troubles away. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me be your therapy, in a sense or whatnot. And so research, once again, I'm like I don't watch the most TV, but I know a lot of culture and knowledge when it comes to like pop culture and the popular things. So I try to like bring back those certain things, even when it comes to like how I'm shooting my lookbook. Like, you know, I want it to be like the old going down the Greenbrier flea market with the white pole. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if y'all took them old school pictures like that when you was a kid, where it's like you got your fresh J's and your jogging suit, and it's like you got like the little starry background, like backdrop or whatnot. But just bringing those nostalgicness of like what, you know, what really makes you a kid again. Like, I always tell people, and I think I might have said this in a video as well too, every day or anytime I'm designing, I try to go to the 11-year-old Twon. It's something about 11, man, like was like the best time of my life. I remember this like this black and lime green Huffy bike my grandma got me, and it's like, I think that's why green is like one of my favorite colors right now. But just thinking about those memories of what makes you a kid again, like the minute your imagination goes away, the minute you can't be creative no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have like a lot of my friends who like are not in fashion, but they'll be like, man, Twon, I don't know how you think of this stuff, like how you just be creative like this. It's like, for one, I like to be in the child state as much as possible. Whatever like grown toys I can get, where it's like bear bricks, or, you know, like one of my life goals is just to, when it's all said and done and I'm like a billionaire or something like that, I want to, in my career, being a Power Ranger. I just want to go save the world, okay? In a fresh suit and boots on, and you know what I'm saying? It's just like, just save the world, right? But anything that I can think, anytime I can go back to that memory bank is when like some of my like best designs come out, because it's just like that pure joy and that pure ecstasy. Is like, it's so much bad going on in this world, and it's like all we do is like scrolling and just seeing so much negative stuff. It's like you got to figure out how to like have I call it a mind mood board, like that mood board that really just keeps you on track of like a certain memory where it's like, man, oh man, this just really made. I was having a down day. I was having writer's block, blah blah blah. I couldn't think of that. But now it's like, it just brought me back to life or whatnot. And that's something I try to like constantly do all the time. How are we on time? Because I just want to make sure. Oh, okay, cool. We good. Okay. Is it one more slide? Yeah. Okay. So I kind of mixed in there. That's all good. Don't worry about it. We good. But we can still kind of go with following up as well too. Because I just had a whole thing I was getting ready to say with y'all. You also want to like follow up with yourself. Being an entrepreneur is tough versus having a 9-to-5. When I say it's tough, a 9-to-5, 9 times out of 10, you have a schedule. You kind of already know what your Tuesday look like, what your Thursday look like. But when it's like an entrepreneur, if you're not following up with yourself to make sure, okay, Tuesday we know we need to do this right here, and Thursday we need to do right there, you can kind of go in a wormhole of being super unproductive. And then also just following up with people around you, like your employees. Like, it's okay to be like, hey man, I'm just checking in. Did we get this together or whatnot? Because that's how you become not only just a stronger leader, but I don't like the word boss, but just like a truly like boss of your company, just making sure that you stay on top of things. Just to kind of, we can be done with follow up now. Now I want to kind of like, I want to give you, I think this should be the jewels part now. What are y'all into? First of all, like, anybody who wants to speak first, what you into? Like, what's your brand, if you have one?
Yeah, I do have a brand. It's
Okay.
called Be Undeniably Great.
Okay.
So it's just about being like great in every aspect of the word.
Okay.
And then I'm a personal trainer too, so I get that's a business that I run in itself,
Mm.
and like marketing myself through that.
Okay.
Myself, so, yeah.
And it's crazy that you say that too. I have a younger cousin who I feel like he's kind of like following my footsteps, but he like played a lot of sports, but he also, he loves fashion like anybody else does, and he's lately created these like these thermal shirts for like baseball players, but they have like little inserts that it can be hot or cold, so it's like while you playing, it's like that technology, and it's like that's something I want to challenge you with, seeing that you saying you have a brand and then you're also personal training, right? One thing that you could always do to make sure that can't nobody get in your lane is figuring out how to bring those two worlds together and put it in a product form. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like those are the type of things that I try to not only like help my friends around me think about those things, but also like however I can like interject like to, did you think of it this way or whatnot? Because, sometimes, and even I can be like this, you might get stuck in your way and you might be like, man, I know this is what I see. This is what I eat, breathe, and sleep. So I know it's supposed to look like this, but sometimes it's, and I'm truly learning this now, sometimes it's okay to ask for help and ask for that third or fourth eye of, man, what you think about this? Like a lot of my friends will always tell you is like, I'm not afraid of constructive criticism. I actually like for you to tell me what you don't like about this, because I want this to be better. Someone once told me Apple Apple hires for like certain products. They like to hire the most laziest person to figure out stuff because they know they're gonna figure it out the fastest. When they told me that, it really like messed up my brain. I said, "Dang, that's slick, smart as I don't know what." Because it's like we in such a microwave world already, and it's like I hate that's kind of like what I love about the iPhone too, like the minimalistic of it, where it's like, okay, I can go to this. I ain't gotta have an Android and gotta go to 8 different pages to find this. No offense to anybody who has an Android, but you know, I feel like bringing everything to like one, like just bringing everything home, where it's like with you, it's like you love fashion, you got a brand, but you also love personal training too. Figure out how you can make that into a dollar amount. Not only just the personal training side, because that's one form of revenue, but it's like you always want to try to create 8 at least for yourself, period, just in anything that you're doing in life. And so that's something I challenge you as well. Anybody else? Who else has a brand? Talk to me.
So I'll say my interest right now is like cutting so fashion.
Okay.
Like everything you need, even just as far as like you said, like I like to take stuff apart. So
Right.
like, exposed seams versus flat seams. You know what I'm saying?
Right. How you went to school for fashion?
No, I didn't.
But how you know about all that? You did your research. That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. And that's another thing too that I would tell people too. Like, you know, don't get discouraged from the way I said, you know, I went to school for this, because like at the end of the day, yeah, like going to school, like, you know, I come from that world of where, you know, my parents always told me like, you know, money, anybody can take away money from you, but a diploma, can't nobody take that away from you. So I just come from that world of, I wanted to make sure I got that piece of paper for my mom and my grandmother. But it's like, we also in the world now too, where it's like, you know, technology is everything, and it's a lot of self-taught people as well too. So I think it's really about your journey, your values. Like, once again, I value making sure that, hey, I got this piece of paperwork. Now, I don't like these student loans I got that come with it, but at the end of the day, I did this for my family, and everything that I do is for my family. That's just one of my core values. But it's like, even with you, like the fact that you telling me all these flat side seams and all that good shit, like, you know. So it's like, but you don't even understand how much that type of language that you know what I'm saying? Because that's not English. That's fashion language, and it's like, that's why I asked you like that. Like, oh, you went to school, you know what I'm saying? But that could bring you like further than somebody else, you know what I'm saying, who's saying that, oh, I just want to do fashion. And it's like, do you know the side scene? You know what I'm saying? Like, but the fact that you want to do cut and sew is like, for one, like, proud of you for that or whatnot. But at the same time, it's like, that's your extra leverage of making sure that you look sharper than the next person going for that same thing too. And it's like, now with cut and sew, like, what, you know, because cut and sew is like, it's such a wide range. What are you like? What like streetwear, couture, like?
Specifically streetwear, but just in a sense of like, for one, elevated streetwear,
Mhm.
and mostly like outerwear.
Okay.
I feel like outerwear, you have so much room to play with. You can layer,
Right.
you know, do all these different things. So specifically outerwear for sure.
Got you. You got a portfolio?
Yeah.
All right. Come see me after class. All right. Who else? Who's next? Yeah, go ahead, because you did have yours.
My brand is centered around fashion and art.
Okay.
So more like wearable street art.
Mm.
It's acrylic paint.
I love it.
I'm wearing a hoodie right now.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
like paint on the hoodie.
Okay.
So
Super hard.
each hoodie is like custom.
Right. And so, boom, I'm going to interject an idea and some homework for you to do, right? So it's like, boom, you're doing one-on-ones, you're doing hand painting. You know what your first pop-up or thing you should be trying to go after? Art Basel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you said you're mixing fashion and art together. You know, that's technically what it is at this point now. Like, it's Art Basel has become such a one big fashion party. Like, it's almost like the Miami Fashion Week now, it feels like. But it's really should be about art. But it's like, and I'm saying this because, you know, my stuff is held in the Webster, but also last Art Basel, it was a new brand of a woman who she paints like old cartoon characters, but like sayings of like to now, right? Like of modern day right now. And she was in the Webster selling like little pop up in for art basel. So it's like doing that research of figuring out, okay, where's the art market at? Or what are certain art events that I can start making sure I pull up to, here and there to make sure I, you know what I'm saying? Like get my voice out there, get my name out there. Like when I was doing RGB, right? So once again, I'm born and raised from Atlanta, right? Atlanta, what are we known for? Like music, right? So my goal, once again, this is me coming back from LA. When I told you I went to LA, I only did that for like a year because, I'm just a Southern guy, a Southern gentleman. Like I have Southern hospitality that I just can't deal with, like, and I've gotten in trouble by saying this, but I don't want to, it's a certain materialistic attitude over there that I can't condone, I can't be around. I was starting to lose myself and I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. We gotta bring it back home. We gotta go to the West Side real quick and go chill with the family, right? So boom, back to what I was saying. So we're known for music, right? It's a lot of recording studios, right? So when I was creating these hats, not only once again this hat, it was created from a pop-up I did with Wish ATL. Wish ATL, of course, you guys know about it. Prior to them, and it was sponsored by Sprite too. Prior to them, kind of like contacting me to not only like ask me to do it, but also give me money to produce the collection. I was kind of on a rampage of making sure I drop something every week. Like I was making sure that when you get on Instagram, dang, he dropped something again. You know what I'm saying? Really making a mental schedule of, go ahead and expect every Friday to get either a hoodie, a t-shirt, anything, right? And so I was dropping stuff here and there just to really just keep the name out there. And so when I got the opportunity with them, the collection, I wanted to do something super Atlanta and just based off of, once again, how I grew up. This trucker hat, right? Of course, like I said, I did my research on nobody was wearing it, but at the same time, I grew up off Bankhead where, right there where Blue Flame is, there's a lot of truck stops and like Fulton Industrials, like not too far from over there. And it's like, I see 18-wheelers all day, every day, like coming up there. So it's like, and I'm super inspired by uniforms. Like I love uniforms. Like that's what I would love to take that's what I'm going to take RGB with is I want to redesign every uniform from McDonald's, Starbucks, FedEx. I always say UPS, your brown is just too brown. Like we got to stop. If, anybody who works at UPS is like, there's a joke where it's like, oh, you got that doo-doo brown suit on. It's like, we got to cut that out. I don't want nobody to ever try you like that again. It's like, why isn't it cardboard brown? It's like, you're already shipping boxes. It should be, the truck should just look like a moving box going throughout the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we not thinking like that, right? So boom. Truck stops, right? But also, I love a good thrift find where it's like you might went to the thrift store and you found that $3 hat where it's like, but I don't know where this hat came from, but it's like my favorite hat and I wear this every day. And it's like, it literally is something that people wear every day, including myself. But with that, it was the trucker hat. I did a hoodie that had like, I kind of redid like the Freaknik, like old merch or whatnot. Like, but it was really just bringing everything that, once again, Atlanta, like a theme. Like that's something I always try to tell anybody with your brand. Make sure you know how to stay on theme. That's why I said with you, your brand, like anything that you come out when it comes to like the clothing wise, t-shirt, hat at the minimum, but everything else gotta be so elevated of trying to figure out how I'm making wristbands, how I'm gonna bring wristbands back, how I'm gonna bring, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like how I'm gonna bring the Live Strong rubber bracelets back. You know what I'm saying? Something that I can just charge $1 for, but it might cost me 20 cents to make. Now I done ran a checkup off $1 bracelets. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got to start thinking outside of just a T-shirt and a hoodie or a hat. You know, once again, don't get me wrong. Yes, I started with a hat but I also did the research of understanding how I'm going to start with a hat. We're not going to just start a hat just to put something on there. We're going to start a hat to make sure that, boom, once this came out, because when it came out in Wish, I only made 50 of them, and it was like a more brown uniform. And when I did those sold out immediately, like during the pop-up before I could even like really do any press or whatnot. This is just love off the city, just people like, but that hat hard. I need all this. Like, literally had a pile of them at my pop-up, and the end of the pop-up there was no pile, right? So going back to research, when I realized, oh, okay, I got something. Let's do some more research, right? I had one left. I wore that one for about 4 to 5 months all around the city till I kept being asked, man, I done seen this hat somewhere. Where you get this from? You know what I'm saying? Once I kept hearing enough of those, I said, oh, okay, it's time to go out, right? Boom. From that point to once again, time travel back to what I said, you know, this is the city of music. This is, you know, we are rap culture. We are street culture, right? I'm going to go to every recording studio and I'm gonna bring a bag, you know, just like if you go to, I don't know if anybody go to the barbershop in the hood where you might have the fruit man, you got some fruit or some juices or whatnot, saying, you know, you got that. I was coming in the studio like, boy, I got a bag full of this drip. What you trying to do? Oh, you ain't wearing RGB? Boy, you lame as I don't know what. And I'm not telling everybody to tell people that they're lame. I fortunately, once again, I was going in these studios based off my relationships and my friends that I do have in the music industry. And so, you know, I built it up to a certain where my word is valid. So it's like anything that does come out of my mouth, I'm gonna have a certain cosign from my partner to be like, nah, my boy hard. So it's like when I'm coming in these rooms and I got this bag full of, and once again, when I realized, okay, this hat is something, we not finna make a whole bunch of colors of everything. We finna we not just gonna do one color, we gonna do a whole bunch of colors. So it's like, but also, I'm gonna also do the matching hoodie or the matching sweatshirt or the matching sweatpants, cause it's like, I had to really, once again, do my research on the male client. Us as guys, unless you're just a fashionable guy, 9 times out of 10, you want somebody to tell you how to put it on. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what people got to understand too. There's nothing wrong with that too, because that's what you have people like me for, to be like, Twon, what should I wear? You know what I'm saying? I actually get a kick out when somebody's like, boy, what you think about this right? Boy, put that one on right there. Cause it's like, you never know. You could have just helped me with a design where it's like, but what's your name? These are Casey jeans right here. My boy, he had this one look on, and I really liked the fit on it. So it's like I did these, and now these the RGB Casey jeans. So it's like, though, and people don't understand. That's how these other brands come up with these stuff. Like all these names that you might see on certain stuff like that, it came from their partner that was like, but I like them jeans right there. What? Oh yeah, them the Billy jeans right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta research, and you gotta also just be aware of your surroundings in anytime, anything that you got going on that's dealing with your dreams. Certain words and certain people don't come for no reason. I'm just a firm believer. Like, I'm not meeting y'all for no reason. Like, I hopefully want to make the 10 of me's tonight for this reason of talking with y'all, right? Just because I just want to be that inspiration. But back to, like I said, going to those and making sure that I knew what my client needed and wanted. Oh, them J's came out. What J's came out? Okay, cool. I'm finna make some of these, make some hats that go with these J's that come out. Oh, them Dior's just came out. Boom, let me make some hats that go with these Dior's real quick. Because at the end of the day, they just want something to put this all together on. And it's like, you gotta really figure out what your customer wants and needs. Like, this particular this jersey right here, and I just wanted to bring this up because bringing back to, like I said, redesigning uniforms, right? This is my first step of that dream. These are some basketball uniforms that I redesigned for MLK weekend. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the OTE basketball league that's kind of like coming up. It's like basically you got your like high school, and it's like I think most of them are still in high school as well too, but it's also like your super ticket to the league. So it's like I had like the twins that wore mine or whatnot. They're like I think they're number 4, but it's like it's an honor that I was able to redesign their jerseys, and it's like now they finna go to the league, and it's like now this jersey finna be worth something. You know what I'm saying? Like but it's all about just really making sure that whatever you put out here, whatever you put your name on is for a reason. Like all of this stuff is for a reason. Like I don't want to make clothes just to make clothes. That's not what I'm here for. It's to not only inspire, but also just bring a certain joy. I'm gonna answer one more question of who got a brand, and go ahead. Oh wait, hold on. My bad. You did have yours. Go ahead.
Oh, I got a brand called Or Du
I'm gonna do yours too. Go ahead.
It's French for out of time, but it's really just kind of heavy.
And it's called what?
Or Du Temps. It's
Oh.
French for out of time.
Okay.
But it's a heavy. I took like this one art history class, and I really like the French Revolution type art period.
Okay.
So all my garments, I like them to be real heavyweight, more like you are putting on a costume.
Okay.
And everything's about quality, and I like being able to kind of put things with different pieces. Like everything kind of, it can be uniform, but at the same time you can mix and match with anything. It's always gonna go.
Right. What have you ever been to France?
No, I'm trying to by the end of this year.
Okay, say less. No, I feel you. What else about that like super inspires you? Like
What about?
like just French culture or whatnot.
I don't know, for some reason it just.
Or what's your logo? What's the logo of your brand?
So it's more so I want it to be based off just the name.
Just the name? Okay.
It really carries itself like a luxury brand. Like you see Or Du Temps, that means Or Du Temps.
Right, right.
So I mean, when it comes to logos, I feel like that's what also gives you more creativity. I can put whatever with the name because it's just a name.
Nah, for sure.
So.
Exactly. And the reason I say that because my brain is just working is like I remember you said something about like you said did you say the French Revolution? Yeah, right. So it's like finding out, I know it's got to be a dope image or like somebody holding a flag or something like that. Yeah. You know, now you see where I'm going with it, where it's like, I feel like some with that is like really like dissecting that image is going to make everything with your brand like so much easier. Like figuring out like, once again, this hat, this logo I made for this, like, it's a branded logo that just looks so uniform that I knew this is something I could stamp on anything. And that's something that you always want to think about your brand too. Like, it's okay to have a niche brand, but it's also cool to have a general purpose brand as well too, that you can make it for anybody, that they don't have to second guess and have to second think about if I can wear this, because that's what I learned from doing Antique Society. Once again, it was avant-garde that, you know, I would always get comments of, man, Twon, it's hard, but I don't know how to wear it. And you can't make no money off of I don't know how to wear it. So it's like you got to figure out how to tap everyone if that's what you want to, because some people don't want to tap everyone. So it's really those questions of asking yourself that as well too. Like, do I want what takeaway do I want anyone to get from my brand just from any purchase that you buy from me? Like, why do I love the French Revolution so much or whatnot? Or why does this mean such a certain impact to me that I can make this into like a 10-year, 20-year brand? You know what I'm saying? And I only say that because that your brand sounds what Antique Society was for me. It was actually Antique Society owned. Just because, once again, I'm just like you. I'm super inspired. Like, just French culture and just, I mean, my name is Antoine. It's French, so I've always just kind of been told that a certain way. And I've never been to France myself, but anytime I say that, they're like, "What? You got all this swag? You ain't never been there?" I'm like, "No, but I'm actually going tomorrow." So, yeah, for the first time. So, yeah. So I'm gonna let you know how I go. You know what I'm saying? But I had to get in that mode of saying, "Nah, we gotta make this happen." I ain't got time for no more person telling me, "Well, you ain't never been. You look like." All right, now we finna. I'm gonna make sure that I've been. Yeah, I've been a couple times too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I've always been ahead, and I've always just had a certain swag about me. But it's like now, like last year, like, and I'm gonna say travel. I want to kind of bring up travel too. Like last year, I went to Seoul, Korea for the first time, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I ain't been right ever since. When I say that, because the fashion ain't nothing to play around with. Like I'm talking about, they having it on 24/9. Okay, like for real. And it's like, but if I wouldn't have went, I wouldn't even be having, I wouldn't even be smooth like how I'm looking tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like this career got me looking what my look tonight for real, because they had a lot of, they do these like men's suit things that almost look like a pajama set, right? And it's like silk, like just like, man, you just look like money. And it's like, man, I bought a couple of them, and it's like brought them to the States, and it's like now every time I wear them, folks like, boy, where you get that from? That hard right there. But it's like that elevation is like travel truly elevates not only the mind, but your designs as well too, and your thought process as well. Like that's the only way I can really like truly like work, if and that's just for anybody with a nomadic spirit. But like I just got back in town from Miami yesterday, just from, once again, I just got 2 new kind of like A-list clients that they want me to do some merch for them. And I had to really be like, okay, we got to zone out. I need to just somewhere I can just kick my feet up with some sun and, just zone out and chill out. And it's like taking that, it's okay to like make time for yourself. I'm one of those people where I actually like will be so selfish to be like, no, I need Twon time. You know what I'm saying? Like just that time just to think, hear your thoughts, like understand what's going on in that brain of yours. Like we in such a world of so much clutter and so much noise that we don't really like, a lot of people, if you don't meditate, like I advise you to meditate. That's something good. But 9 times out of 10, a lot of people can't meditate the first go round because there's so much noise in your head. You don't know how to be like, you see, I just like no noise real quick. Like you just got to learn how to do that with yourself. And that's how you can kind of just get some of those true, pure thoughts, like those true, man, this makes me feel a certain type of way. So I got to make sure whatever I put out, make everybody else feel that same type of way. You get what I'm saying? So I think I just went into a spiral. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah. Perfect, yeah, perfect, yeah. Okay, yeah, let's do a break, a breather real quick.
Real quick, y'all, we got donuts over here, so some lime. If y'all want to grab one, and get some drinks, we got some waters.
Yeah, if y'all want a little break real quick. Stretch. Hope everybody's good. Hope nobody's asleep. And if anybody has a question too, like I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. What's up?
I have a brand, and it's called Tory High. It's inspired by vintage sportswear.
Okay.
I kind of have like a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be the face of the brand.
Yeah, as you shouldn't. Yeah.
And I know some like Fenty associated.
Yeah, right.
Some people don't know Fear of God and shit.
Exactly right.
It's like what are the pros and cons to
So it's the pros and cons. Really, I feel like, unfortunately, the world we're in right now, we're in such a influencer world, it's like it's gonna be a pro regardless of putting it on somebody else versus yourself. Oh, oh, you think I should pass it out now? Instead, because I'm saying, if I stand up, am I gonna mess up the shot? Yeah. Okay. Hold on, I got a surprise. Yeah, this in this green bag. I'm finna give it to you. Oh. So you can take these and be like, everybody just like grab two or something like that. Huh? No, I'm good. Once I'm in my mode, if I do anything, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much grab a color that speaks you if it isn't taken. Everybody should have a black one too. Just everybody definitely get a black one, but then the color ones when they go around, like find the color that really speaks you. Take one of these. Take one of these. Take one of these. Yeah. So what I was gonna do is that's what I was saying. Start with your first, like favorite color first, and then I want to make it like a, hey neighbor, can I borrow that yellow real quick from you type situation. You know what I'm saying? Here you go. Uh-oh, got a little string on here. My bad. I don't want. You know what I'm saying? Oh, here you go. Appreciate you. Everybody got a black one, right? Okay. So grab him. Okay. We can see what we got here. You got yours, okay. You got yours. My boy, you got yours. Okay, let me see what we got here. Boom, okay, you got one. Here you go. No, come on. Oh, yeah, here we go. My bad, I got your player. Yes, sir. Here you go. Mm-hmm. Will you pass that to him as well, too? Thank you. That's everybody, right? Oh, shit. Ugh. Oh, we in class, my bad. Where's my boy? Who else? That's everybody, right? Everybody got a hat, right? We back. All right, y'all. We back. We took a little break real quick. Of course, as you can see on your desk right now, there is going to be an all-white RGB freight hat that looks just like the one that's in my hand right now. What I would like for everyone to do with that first black marker, I want you to write your name on the hat. Oh, you didn't get one? My bad. Can we get my boy a marker real quick? It can write. It can be anywhere. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Everybody needs a black marker if whoever don't have one.
Everyone's got a black one?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I want you to write your name on it. Anyway, yeah. Like almost like you're designing a hat, and where would you put your name? When everybody put their name on it, let me let me know. We all good? Everybody put their name on it? Straight? Let me see. Let me see where y'all put it at. Okay. 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 Now with the color one, oh, you need the color. Yeah, can we get some more color ones too? With the color one, I want you to write a word that, and it could be anything that you took away from tonight. A word, phrase, preferably a word. Like inspirational or motivational. But just whatever you're feeling. So you could put boring if I like it. I told you I like honesty. It only helps me be a better presenter for the next class. And let me know when everybody did that. And if you have a brand, I want you to write that next. And it could be in any color. You can use both colors if you want to. If you want to like put the logo on there, or if you want to, but like get creative with it to where it's like how if you're like, man, Twon, I want to make my own hat. How would you do it? And that's what I was saying too. If you need other colors, and just be like, neighbor, let me get that orange from you real quick. You can actually color in the RGB joint too as well. That's why I made it all white for you, just because I want to see how y'all mind work. Y'all might get a job after this. Shoot. That's why I said you never know. Man, my initial idea, I was gonna make some. Y'all remember in art class when they used to have them little buckets of smocks? It might be like old little aprons and little stuff with paint on it. I'll be like, but y'all get one of these. But time didn't get to let me do that. But it's like, once again, like I said, nostalgic is everything for me. So it's like, I want this activity to kind of like get your brain working, but also like bring a certain time to where it's like you was in class and it's like you doing something creative. Make them hard. I'm putting on the IG stories. I'm taking a picture of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Let you know, folks know there's the RGB sweatshop going on. I'm just playing. While y'all doing that too, I'm gonna kind of like I wanna explain like why design and kind of how. I feel like I didn't touch on that as much. this shoe right here, which everybody knows what this is. This is a Air Force One, right? This is a shoe I'm working on, and oh shoot, literally. So all my shoes, the tongue is pink. And that's once again, that's like my design language of taking not only things from nature, but just from us as humans. And it's like, tongues are usually always pink, right? So it's like, that's the whole concept, just in case if anybody looked at it and is like, I never would have put pink and red together. But it actually goes. I just recently did New York Fashion Week 2 weeks ago. My first ever runway, well, it's not my first runway show, but my first actual being on the fashion calendar and you know what I'm saying, a real deal production, which is one of my super long life dreams of mine. Just was to ever always show not only did we check the bucket list off of having it being in stores up there, but it was just always a dream of mine just to see my brand in Times Square, and then actually see a real runway show, not only start from paper to clothing to actual production and coming to life. And that's something I'm truly thankful for, and the reason why I'm working hard now just to make sure that we get season. So the collection was called Iris. Iris Fall Winter 2023. And a lot of people don't know too, just when it comes to fashion too, runway shows are a season ahead on purpose, because you're initially telling people this is what the next wave finna look like. If you're telling somebody what the wave is now, it's too late. You know what I'm saying? You've already drowned. So it's you want to prepare people for a wave. Surfers don't, they know when the wave is going to be a certain level and the time of the day to prepare for that. So it's you always want to prepare, proper preparation prevents poor performance. That's something I live by all day, every day. And you always want to, and research, once again, helps you with that preparation. Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah, let me sign on right now. And Iris, the reason why I called it Iris, so, I told you I'm inspired by Egyptian artwork, but I'm also inspired by Greek mythology. And so in Greek mythology, Iris was the goddess of color. And, of course, color, RGB, just doing research on her or whatnot, it opened up a whole box of, okay, cool, I like this image to go with this right here, but then Iris has so many other meanings as well, too. There's a Iris Arpfeld, who's one of the biggest kind of women in the fashion as far as when it comes to style. If you see any of her pictures, she's this she look like somebody grandma who having it on every time she go to church type vibe. And I come from a black grandmother that literally it was the same way, she putting it on. So that was another aspect. And then it's the iris is the part of the eye that we see, right? So once again, how I see color, how we see color. Was another inspiration of not only even just the glasses I'm wearing, most glasses you see two eyes, but it's I need y'all just to see this one vision, all right? You know what I'm saying? It's just one dream. And got all this other stuff. That's why it's I'll tell people anytime I've ever asked to ask for help or ask for someone to work with me, and it's or either even, or not even just that, anytime someone's like in my DM and they're like, man, we should collab, right? And I have no problem collabing, but people just got to learn how to make it make sense. You can't tell me you want to collab and I go to your page and everything is, oh, you're a musician. Hey, that don't work. That means you want me to design your merch. You need to say that instead, right? And it's about knowing what you want to do and the impact you want to bring. So once again, I say that to piggyback off the first subject, your brand. What is it? Who is it? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? Shoot, you might want to make cologne. What does it smell like? You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to think about everything when it comes to your brand. How y'all doing on the hats? Everybody done? Pretty much done on the hats? No, y'all. We ain't gotta wrap it up. I just wanted to kind of see what y'all got going on. Y'all can hold up some of them too, real quick. Just okay. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I see it. I didn't want to say nothing. I was like, all right, I'll wait. And some people are like this because I'm not understanding the concept that someone wants my signature. But if you want me to sign your hat too, I will as well. I just know when people have been asking me that, I'm like, for real, man? I'm still working. Let me get in the Guinness Book World Records or something first. What's up? Oh yeah. Oh right. Or we move the table out the way and just do it right here.
I'm gonna probably shoot from right there.
Okay. I got you. Right. We also got certificates of completion for y'all as well too. So y'all will be getting that. You know what I'm saying? Got the diploma for y'all real quick. You did.
Anyone else have any more questions?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. That's what I really wanted to open this up. If anybody has any questions for me, like, talk to me. Or if I didn't answer anything, talk to me. Go ahead.
Okay, so you had said like with being an entrepreneur, you kind of want to have like 8 streams of like
Yeah.
income and stuff like that.
Right.
But then once again, you want to like be careful like how you do your social
Of
media and
course.
all that. So would you suggest to have several like different ones? Instead
Yeah.
of
Heck.
like,
These folks out here got fences, don't they? Right. So it's like, ain't nothing wrong with. Now, the only thing I'm gonna say is it's a hard trying to manage 8 different pages. So that's the only thing about it. But once again, that's when you have to learn how to scale up and figure out who's either one of my good friends that want to see me win, or who can I find to help me run some of them. You get what I'm saying? Like, but even when I say 8 streams of income, the hardest part is trying to figure out how to do that 8 in one brand. It's doable, but that's the real challenge that you want to challenge yourself. Like I said, with RGB, I want to be a clothing brand, but I also want to be a design company because I want to redesign everyone's uniform. I also want to be a school. So when I was in college, and I went to Boddard College here in Atlanta, Georgia, and when I was in school, we had like the MacBooks and we had the Juki sewing machines, and you know, at the crib, all I had was a little Walmart joint, and you know what I'm saying. I'm still on Windows. I haven't switched to Mac yet. Yeah, I think I might have had BlackBerry or maybe iPhone just had came out. But anyway, like, you know, we got all the good stuff at the school, and it's like I remember I would barter like with the security dude, like, hey man, I'm gonna make sure I clean up in here, bro. You give me 30 more minutes, man. My mind is working right now, and I really don't want to stop on this right here because as a creative, to tell somebody, no, you gotta stop, could be really detrimental for, you know what I'm saying? And it was times where I really didn't want to stop, and I really like pushed the envelope with the security where he like, bro, come on, man, you got to go. I'm like, bro, I know, man. Look, I'm gonna get you lunch or something tomorrow, something like that. But at the same time, doing whatever I got to do to make sure that my final exam look like nothing nobody else in the class doing, because I'm the one still here till like they would cut off around like 11:30 because they had night classes. But me and my I have a homegirl who went to college with me too. She does menswear. We would literally be in there like, but this is our lab right here because we got everything. We got surgeons. We got everything to make us look like the people who we love to wear so much. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the school is something I want to get back to the city. I want it to be a 24-hour facility where it's like you got somebody in one room doing fashion, but then you got somebody else doing photography. Then you might got somebody else doing music. Then you might got somebody else doing business. And it's like you got the person who just did the T-shirt come in the studio, but what y'all think about this shirt I just did? But it's hard, but I want to wear it on the single or the cover. Cool. Now we take it to the photo room, and now, boom, we just shot the photo room, and it's almost like what this is right here, but even more, I need to create the next X-Men type thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want my city of mutants here to be like a real collective of people coming together with the same idea, the same thought, the same want to just not only see themselves be different and better, but the city as well. And I feel like that's something the city truly needs right now. I'm literally right now trying to figure out how to create a RGB kickball tournament for like just something for the city. I just feel like, you know, I'm not a going out type of person, but even out to want to go out just don't feel the same in the city no more. And I understand that I can complain and say whatever I want to, but if I'm not being part of the change, nothing's going to change. So that's kind of like my next steps of figuring out how to like do the right community service just for the city and putting RGB on it as well too. Anybody? Go ahead. Oh. Is it on?
It's on streaming.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So how would you suggest getting your clothing into, I guess boutiques, maybe not like department stores,
Right.
but, you know, for smaller brands, getting things into boutiques.
Yeah. So I would say, once again, this goes back to research. You got to figure out, what does your brand bring that no one else in that particular store that you want to go into? Because you also want to make it a goal of what store you want to go to. You get what I'm saying? Like, so RGB is only held as far as in retail stores as the Webster and Fred Siegel. I had the opportunity of like the Neiman's and the Saks and all that other stuff, or like a Macy's. But to be honest with you, RGB isn't a Macy brand. I don't look at myself as a Macy nothing except for socks and drawers. No disrespect to Macy's, but once again, my brand is a small Parisian boutique that got all the hottest vibes. So it's like I'm figuring out what does those brands look like and how do I make myself different from all that. So I would say that's what you should do with your brand as far as like figuring out what boutique you want to be in. You know what I'm saying? That's the first one. It need to be, your mood board need to be, are we going straight for Bergdorf Goodman? That's all I'm working towards. Like, if it ain't this level, we ain't putting it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to really be stingy with yourself of understanding that, nah, we ain't settling for nothing. Like literally what I said in I don't like to settle. Like, especially being a black person, I can't. We can't. That's when they like to say what you doing or if you ain't doing something. So it's like, I like to cut all that out before you even get to that point. But once again, I think the best way is that research of finding what your brand carries that they also don't carry. And then you also want to build a relationship with the buyer. And that, once again, goes with the research. Figure out who's the buyer for this store, because they're different at different stores. But it's like, the reason why I'm in Fred Siegel, the reason why I was able to do a collaboration with Betty Boop is because I came into Fred Siegel one time with my hat on. Of course, you also don't be wearing somebody else, so wear your stuff as well too. Make sure you are that walking campaign. And it wasn't until I walked in the store before Fred Siegel even carried RGB, and I came in and the buyer just so happened to be ringing me up, and he said, "Man, where you get this hat from, man? I just traded something from my other partner," and he traded with somebody who I knew, and he was like, "Man, I just traded." I said, "Well, you don't have to do no more trades. How you doing? My name is Antoine Joyner, and this is my brand, RGB." So he said, "What? This you? Man, we need to get you in the store." And it's like, once again, building that relationship, going that, you know, and unfortunately, you know, you got to pay to play. So it's like, you got to shop, and if it means buying a little T-shirt real quick just so you figure out who's the buyer. So they make you always want to just make sure that people feel like you're not playing around. And what's the quickest way for someone to make you feel like you're not playing around? Here you go. You get what I'm saying? And that just go with anything when you're asking for help. Like, if people, unfortunately, depending on how much someone can believe in you or not believe in you, that money is the only fuel of the fire. Me personally, I actually don't work like that. There's not a dollar, no piece of paper you can wave in my face that's gonna make me move any certain type of way. God told me a long time ago, brother, you straight. Don't worry about all that. You get what I'm saying? Worry about your impact to the world. And I feel like, once again, even like I said in the video, like, if money is all you worried about, go try something else. And I'm being so serious with any and everybody, because I'm seeing money 10 years later. 10 years of staying down, making sure that, nah, this dream gotta work. And if it ain't, I don't know what else. You know what I'm saying? Like that, being that determined and being that, you got to just be sharp with yourself. And I feel like that's how you get all your dreams to come true, because I'm literally a walking example of someone's dreams coming true.